Welcome back to the deep dive. So, whether you are prepping for a big meeting right now, or maybe you're just insanely curious about your own mind,
Rare.
you are about to get a serious shortcut today.
You really are.
We are digging into an incredible source today, a summary of Dr. Julie Smith's book, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? And I mean, the main hook here is just perfect.
It is.
Why wait until you're in a crisis to learn how your brain works?
Exactly.
This is basically the user manual they completely forgot to give us at birth.
That is the best way to frame it, really, because mental health, it isn't just a destination for when things go wrong.
Right. It's not the emergency room.
Exactly. It's a continuous daily process. And the tools in this book, they are analytical, they are practical, and they are things you can use immediately.
Which is exactly what we need. I'm bringing the enthusiasm today, but I am definitely relying on you to be the calm, synthesizing guide through all this neuroscience.
I am ready when you are.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with this massive myth the book tackles right at the gate.
The happiness myth.
Yes. This idea that we are supposed to just feel happy all the time.
Right, which is completely unrealistic.
It's exhausting just thinking about it. But Dr. Smith debunks this entirely.
She does, and it's so important to understand that a low mood is a completely natural part of the human experience.
It's not a malfunction.
Not at all. It actually acts as a vital signal from the body. It's information.
Like a dashboard indicator light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But where we get trapped is in what she calls the feedback loop.
Right.
This is the constant interaction between your thoughts, your physical sensations, and your behaviors.
So I feel terrible, so I think terrible thoughts, so I stay in bed.
Precisely. And staying in bed makes your body feel more lethargic, which feeds the negative thoughts.
It's a trap. But the source material gives us a very actionable tool to break it.
Opposite action.
Yes. Opposite action, which basically means doing the healthy thing even when you absolutely fundamentally do not feel like it.
Which is incredibly hard.
Oh, it's the worst, like when you want to just crawl under the covers and cancel all your plans.
But opposite action says you put on your shoes instead.
You go for a walk.
Right. And the reason this works isn't just positive thinking. You are physically breaking the feedback loop.
Because your body is doing something different.
Yes. You walk, your heart rate increases, your environment changes.
Wow.
That sudden physical shift naturally disrupts the negative thought pattern.
So you aren't trying to just think your way out of it.
You are literally acting your way out.
Which is a perfect pivot to the next point. Because if we are talking about acting before we feel like it, we hit a brick wall.
Motivation.
Exactly, motivation. And here is where the source drops a huge truth bomb.
I love this part.
Stop waiting to feel like it. Dr. Julie Smith explains why motivation is a reward, not a prerequisite.
What's fascinating here is how much we've backwards engineered motivation.
We really have. We think it's supposed to just strike us.
Like a lightning bolt. Like you were supposed to wake up feeling this intense burning desire to go do your taxes or clean the garage.
If that lightning strikes, please send it my way.
Right. But the psychological reality is entirely different. Motivation follows action.
It doesn't come first.
It does not precede it. The friction is always going to be the absolute highest at the very beginning of any task.
The starting line is the hardest part.
Exactly. But once you push past that initial inertia, once you just start moving, your brain recognizes the progress.
It sees you doing the thing.
Yes. And it sees you accomplishing something. And that is when the feeling of motivation kicks in.
It rewards you to keep you going. So we have this tool, the 5-minute rule.
A brilliant tool.
I'm genuinely going to start using this today. You just commit to a task for 5 minutes.
Just 5.
That's it. And then you have total permission to quit.
It lowers the psychological barrier.
Because 5 minutes feels doable.
Exactly. It doesn't trigger that massive resistance in your brain. And usually by the time those 5 minutes are up, the friction is gone.
You've built momentum and you just keep going.
How many times have you stared at a task waiting for the urge to strike? And then you finally start and realize you could have been finished an hour ago.
We all do it.
But the text also mentions focusing on your why to sustain that momentum.
Right. If the 5-minute rule is the spark to get you going, your why is the fuel to keep the fire burning.
Connecting to core values.
Yes. When you align a boring task with a meaningful value, your why, it changes the game.
You aren't just doing spreadsheet data entry.
You are organizing your work so you can be totally present and stress-free with your family this weekend.
That is such a powerful shift. All right, let's move into slightly deeper waters here.
Navigating emotional pain.
Yes. The text has this central analogy that emotions are like waves,
They crest and they subside.
and trying to stop them,
It's like standing on the beach trying to punch the ocean.
you're just going to get dragged under. It actually makes the emotion last longer.
Exactly. You have to let it wash over you. And there's a neuroscience tool for this. Name it to tame it.
A classic, but so effective.
Can you break down the brain mechanics there? Why does naming an emotion actually help?
The mechanics are remarkable. When you are in a wave of intense emotion, your amygdala, the brain's emotional center, is running the show.
It's flashing red.
Total overdrive.
Yeah.
But the act of observing that emotion and putting a specific label on it.
Like saying, I am feeling grief right now.
Yes. That recruits the prefrontal cortex, the rational language processing part of your brain.
So you were forcing the brain to switch gears.
Literally. You shift blood flow and electrical activity away from the alarm center and into the logical center.
Just by giving it a name. That is wild.
It naturally dials down the intensity.
The book pairs this with radical acceptance, which sounds, I have to be honest, a bit counterintuitive.
Accepting the feeling without judgment.
Right, like if I'm furious, I'm just supposed to accept it.
We constantly judge ourselves. I shouldn't be sad or I shouldn't be angry.
The guilt trip.
Radical acceptance removes that secondary layer of suffering.
The shame about the feeling.
Exactly. You just say, the anger is here.
Yeah.
Full stop. By not fighting the reality of the wave, it passes much faster.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because when we talk about intense emotions, anxiety is usually number one.
The big one.
And the source completely reframes anxiety. It's not a flaw.
It is an alarm system.
Fight, flight, or freeze, but it's just going off at the wrong time.
It's a highly evolved survival mechanism. Your body is trying to save your life.
From an email.
Exactly. The physiological alarm is real, but the threat is just a meeting or a social event.
Which brings us to the third big hook, how changing the way you breathe can actually change the chemistry of your brain in under 60 seconds.
Way of breathing.
Yes. Walk us through the mechanics of this because it's so practical.
It is very straightforward. You inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds.
Okay.
You hold that breath for 4 seconds. You exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 seconds. And then you hold empty for 4 seconds.
In 4, hold 4, out 4, hold 4.
And repeat.
But why does that actually hack the alarm system?
Because when anxiety hits, your breathing gets shallow and fast.
Preparing to run.
Right. But when you intentionally slow down your breath, especially that long exhale, you send a physical signal back to the brain.
A counter signal.
You are essentially telling your brain, look, I wouldn't be breathing this calmly if a bear were chasing us.
We must be safe.
Precisely. The brain gets that feedback, realizes there's no physical danger, and turns off the alarm.
A direct hack. I love that. But the text does give a stern warning about avoidance.
This is critical. The instinct with anxiety is to run away from the trigger.
If public speaking makes me anxious, I just won't do it.
But avoiding it reinforces the fear.
It validates the alarm.
Yes. You are telling your brain, see, we ran away and we survived. It must have been incredibly dangerous.
Oh, wow. So running away feeds the monster.
The only way to recalibrate that misfiring alarm is gradual exposure.
You have to teach the brain through action.
Incremental, safe exposure to prove the threat isn't real.
All right, let's look at the final core topic, stress. Dr. Smith redefines this too.
Stress is just the body's response to a perceived demand.
So it's not inherently bad.
Not at all. We need stress to function, to meet deadlines.
To stay sharp.
The danger is chronic stress without recovery.
Without recovery. And this leads to my favorite visualization in the book, the stress bucket.
It is highly effective.
We all have a bucket, and everyday demands, the commute, the bills, the emails, are just water pouring in.
And if the bucket overflows,
We break down, burn out.
because we cannot always control the water pouring in.
Right.
Life happens.
Well, what do we do?
The text emphasizes that we need functioning taps at the bottom of the bucket to drain the water out.
We have to actively drain it.
Yeah.
And the specific taps mentioned are exercise, sleep, and social connection.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what the source is really pushing is the non-negotiable prioritization of the basics.
The physical basics.
Sleep, nutrition, movement, routine.
Because if your bucket is plugged up,
A single mildly annoying email will cause an explosion.
you literally don't have the capacity.
Exactly. And think about the tools we just discussed. Opposite action, naming the emotion, Square breathing.
They take effort.
They require cognitive energy.
Yeah.
If your bucket is overflowing because you ignore the physical basics, you won't have the energy to use the psychological tools.
The foundation has to be there.
It must be.
So what does this all mean? We have covered so much ground today.
A lot of ground.
To synthesize this for you listening, managing your mind is not a luxury.
It isn't.
It is a continuous, empowering process.
Mm.
You don't need a crisis to take control.
Whether it is recognizing that a low mood is just a signal,
Or remembering motivation is a reward that comes after you take the first step.
these are tools you can use today.
Emotions are just waves.
You can tame them by naming them.
And you can hack your own anxiety alarm by just breathing in a square. Keep that stress bucket drained.
It really puts you back in the driver's seat.
It totally does.
And this raises an important question as we wrap up.
Okay, let's hear it.
If our emotional distress is often just a physical feedback loop,
Right.
and if motivation is simply a reward that follows action,
Yeah.
how much of what we consider our fixed personality, or just the way we are, is actually just a set of unchecked habits that we now have the exact tools to rewrite?
Wow, that is a massive thought to leave on. Are we really hardwired, or have we just been running the wrong manual?
Exactly.
I want to warmly thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We covered some truly transformative concepts from Dr. Smith's work.
We really did.
Don't just leave these tools in your pocket. Try the 5-minute rule today. Practice square breathing the next time that false alarm rings.
You have the manual now.
It's time to use it. Until next time.